Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I thought we'd mix it up today and go back to one of my favorite things to do, and that is creating a book. So we're going to make this photo journal. We're going to DIY it. We're going to stitch it into the binding and everything. So let's go. For this photo journal, I thought I would incorporate different pages. I'm going to do the bulk of the pages with this white paper. It's like copy paper. Well, it's actually a little thicker than copy paper. It's almost like drawing paper. And then I'm also going to use some brown cardstock. I feel like because it's a photo journal, it's nice to have a little mixture of paper in there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the paper up all to the right size, and then we can start binding it in there. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me cut 48 sheets of paper. Okay, so here I'm deciding the spacing of where I'm going to poke the holes so that I can sew the signatures in. And the signatures are the grouping of pages, so each grouping of pages is called a signature. I do love it when Winter pops up and is so curious about what I'm working on, and I just have to take it as a sign from the universe to pause and be present with him. And if you followed me for a little while, you might know that Winter is totally deaf, and I am just so gentle with him and happy to have him as part of my process. Okay, before I actually make these marks, I wanted to point out something. Okay, I did want to talk about just now when I was poking holes in the leather. This is the awl I used on the watercolor sketchbook video. I'll link below. And this is the awl I used today for this art journal. It makes the holes smaller, and I wanted to use the wax thread instead of the really big leather cord. So I didn't use this awl at all today. This awl I did by hand, and I poked the holes through not only the paper but the leather. Now, in the watercolor video, I had this tool, which has since met its demise because it's really cheap. But ideally, you'll have a tool like this, and then you put the piece that broke, which has holes in it. So I'll link one of those in the description below, because I have broke this one last year making a book, and I haven't bought another one yet because I've just been doing it by hand, making my own little pattern like this. And the little piece that broke in here, I'll try to do an overlay to show you, had holes already built in it. So this one takes a little bit more work, but you don't necessarily need this tool to do bookbinding. You can do it old school style. If you want to do it this way, it will save you time and your holes will be more lined up. Okay, let's get back to the manual process here. And what I'm going to do is make marks on this little thin strip of white paper and use that as the guide for all the holes that I'm going to punch. Okay, here I am on the inside of the journal cover, and I'm marking the holes so that I can see, because I've punched so many holes through the leather that I can't tell which ones are going to get stitched. So this is kind of going to be on my inside visual that helps me stay in the right holes. Also, I punched a couple extra holes that I didn't need, and I want to make sure I don't use those. Being that this journal is a gift for someone special, I am just adding a little doodle of words here on the inside before I put the paper in, because it'll be harder to write all across the back. And it's not really meant to be like totally something that you can just read, but it's just a message that is in there, kind of a little Easter egg, if you will. So this step that I'm on right now, where I'm punching holes in the papers and sewing them in, took about an hour or so. So I'm not going to show every single signature that I'm punching holes through and stitching in, but I will show you the process so you know how to do it for yourself. So I'm using the wax cord that came with my bookbinding kit. If you're interested in the bookbinding kit, I'll link it below the video. Not sponsored or anything, it's just the kit I found that got me started and was pretty affordable. So you might be interested in also. All right, there we have it. That is the basic structure of the book. In this case, I'm going to use it as a photo junk journal for 2026. So I have 4 signatures in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they each should have enough pages for a full year of photos. If I was doing like my printed out photos, I think 1 week on a page would be awesome. And you know, it might not even be that much, but that way you have an option. Okay, so we have this strapping that I like to use to close the journals. Basically, I'll run it through there and then have it long here so it can be tied. Probably that long is good. So I basically want to feed it through here. I'm going to use the awl. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. Okay, now that I have the basic journal done, I'm gonna add some stuff in it. I want to add like clear pockets for things. So this could really be anything, but I've intended it to be a photo journal I'm gifting for 2026. And so with 48 pages in here, there's plenty of pages to add photos, add little memorabilia through envelopes. I might use some of this old gel printing paper that I used to make some pockets. But I'm just gonna kind of personalize it some before I package it up and send it off. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is my intent. I'm gonna make one of these for myself and my husband for 2026. And my intent is to use this little printer. You may remember this from an earlier video I did, and I got this little Canon Ivy printer. It's Inkless, and you just push the paper, put the paper inside here, and they're just small little print sheets, which will work perfect for this. But obviously you could just, here, let me show you. And then here are the the sheets. They're actually stickers too. So you can print them out and put them on the pages. And of course you can just print out pictures and things on a regular printer as well. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through here and personalize it some, and then I'll probably leave it for the video and personalize it some more in a more calm, relaxed way. Not that I'm not relaxed, but it's just that I know that I'm making the video for you guys to see it. So yeah, I'm going to add a pocket, and also maybe some different things like that. I think like a pocket down here would be cool. Maybe over here so I can cut it this way. Do another. Let's go a little bit further away. Since this is a gift, I'm thinking about having, I don't want to fill it out for them. I want them to fill it out with their own vibe. But I'm thinking about adding a few little pieces of junk journal type stuff in these pockets. So like maybe handwriting out some months, and maybe some little cute quotes of kindness and stuff and affirmations. And then I'm thinking I'm just going to stick them in these pockets so that when they get the journal, they have options to use those themselves, or they can make their own, but it's just an option there. I'm like gonna glue just the bottom of this so things don't fall out. I think it would be cool. It's too big. But maybe ripping, maybe ripping the edge off instead of cutting. I saw somebody do that recently, and I was like, wow, I really like that. I don't know if I cut too much off to rip. Have enough to rip. Remember that time you were a kid and you did this so that you could tear, maybe you didn't do this, but I did this so we could tear things, like you fold it backwards and forwards, and you tear it more clean that way. More clean. You know what I'm saying. I just had this idea and I'll tell you about it in a second. It's kind of funny. All right, so my funny idea for this page is that you have a photo here that is kind of your private, we'll say. You know, so maybe you're putting a photo in here that's like for your eyes only, or it's just a little more whimsical to hide it and then see it. And you could even put one here and here. But I just thought that'd be fun. Oh, I don't want to do too much because I want them to, I'm upside down. Oh well, you could still do it this way. I don't want to do too much because I want them to be able to do what they want in here. I might add another little thing over here, maybe around this area. And then I'm going to work a little bit on the front with some thread. Oh, forgot something. 1 second. Find a charm that we want to put on here. Yeah, I like this one. Let's see what else we got. We got a few. And that's a duplicate. Oh, I like that pirate one too. I think these are too small and royalty looking. So let's see, I'm gonna pick kind of like that one. Let's see what these other ones look like. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So we will tie a little knot. Put this guy on it. And then tie a little knot again. And then when you tie this together, there's a little key. Thanks so much for joining me today in the video. If you liked it or got any value out of it, I hope you'll leave a comment below and let me know what's going on with you and your creativity. I hope you're being kind to yourself, and we'll see you on the next one.